Broadcasting live from the moon and back, this is The Coin Chat, the most trusted voice for all things cryptocurrency. Each week we dissect an important issue and cut through the noise and misinformation out there in the world of blockchain, cryptocurrency, and ICOs, capturing the facts that truly matter to you that will give you an edge in this fast-moving emerging market. The who, what, where, when, and how of what you need to know in crypto to get ahead so you don't get left behind. Now here are your co-hosts, financial and crypto experts Yuri Cataldo and Steve Good.
Hey, this is Steve Good on the Coin Chat, back once again with
Yuri Cataldo.
Cutting through the noise and misinformation to tell you what really matters. Today we are talking about TenX.
Oh my gosh, TenX.
Yeah, this is just, there's a lot of stuff going on in the news. You know, this was an ICO from last year, 2017, although I've seen a few articles get it wrong, saying it was 2016. Wrong, it was 2017. Wrong. It was in the early summer. And here we are, you know, a year and a half later, still wondering where their application is. And in the midst of wondering that, which we'd actually talked about over the summer, saying we should expect their app would be out over the summer in 2018. Mm-hmm. And here we are with them now in controversy in the news.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they were one of the ICO darlings in 2017. And they were the quintessential of like how to raise money for an ICO because everything they did seemed correct. And now here we are.
I think I told you, so two friends of ours, Chad and Gary, so shout out to our boys, they were looking at TenX with me because Chad and I were really into this at the early stages of finding ICOs, spotting good ones, and we both came up with it at the same time, and we were having a call. It was like, hey, have you seen this one? I'm like, that's what I was going to say. He's like, really? And we were looking at different token calendars and everything about the project looked great. But the question is, was it great because it was great, or was it great because of the one of the founders or one of the guys in the organization, Julian Hosp, and whether or not he was just using his MLM engine to crank out that fictional feeling of amazingness. And now I actually am beginning to question what you suggested to me off camera. So tell us about that one, Yuri.
Sure. So since you and I began chatting about this not too long ago, I've just been trying to do some more research on what is actually happening. And so I've been reading a lot of different articles. And, you know, a lot of the big stipulation is that Julian, he worked for this Lioness company beforehand. And that's what's coming out now. And that's his connection to this MLM company, which has been called a outright Ponzi scheme. I believe it's from Swiss and Norwegian courts have ruled it to be a Ponzi scheme.
Oh, so it's been ruled in court to be an MLM Ponzi scheme, and he's clearly linked to it and involved with it for a couple of years.
Yes, he has, and apparently he's been confronted with criminal charges about. Lioness, not Julian. Not Julian, but Lioness itself as a company has been brought up on criminal charges about this multiple times and had to defend itself.
Wow.
So apparently, there's a couple different articles.
A really good upstanding citizen called Julian Hosp, who's been involved in an MLM scam that's been labeled and determined to be a fraud and illegal by the courts in Europe.
By the courts. Multiple courts.
And here he is running a company called TenX somehow. And we've all missed it, because all of us looking for scams never spotted this one. Now, not to say that Julian's done anything wrong here, but he was associated and working for a company that ended up being one, which is unfortunate. That doesn't really make his name look very good.
No, it doesn't. And so he did. So he did a good job of scrubbing his records, but a lot of different things have been dug up. Between 2011 and 2016, he was a team leader for the Asian market.
Right.
And I have a copy of his old CV. He developed more than 25,000 members of this organization, and he claimed to have his own six-figure annual income.
How did you find his CV, by the way?
It's in a couple of different articles. So okay. I let other people do the hard work for me. So I can't say that it's for sure his CV, but a couple of different sources have both linked to this being his old CV.
Right. And so, of course, let's backtrack for a minute for those of us listening and watching us. So why are we talking about Julian Hosp so much? Because we're supposed to be talking about TenX. So Julian Hosp has been the CEO of TenX up until just recently, where he mysteriously just is out. And
Yep.
associated with that has been a whole string of allegations, none of which can be proven. So we're not going to state that this is this is true.
Nope.
But the allegation is that there's an alleged dump of $2.2 million worth of 10X coins, not when it was even at the top, but it was at the bottom. And it only sunk the coin even further. And it's being alleged that Julian was involved in this. It's unfortunate. There's no way to confirm this. We just see this. And along with that, he's then being tied to an MLM thing. And then he's suddenly out of the company. And it's all happening within a period of about 15 or 20 days. The thing for me that bothers me the most is the community uproar about this. And that would include me because, frankly, as I said, Chad, Gary, and I were looking at this way back, right in the pre-ICO stage, ICO stage. We were looking at, following, tracking it, excited about it. I'll be honest, we tried to get in on it, but the ICO closed in 15 minutes. It was just like, bang, it was gone. 60 million. At the time, it was 60 million. I don't know where they're coming up with these $88 million numbers, unless people are recalculating Ether on a different value than what we saw. But at the time, it was about 60 million. And it was quick, and it was filled, and it looked amazing. But of course, the community's upset by hearing all these, negative things about their CEO being gone. Notwithstanding, the worst part is they haven't delivered any product. Nothing. Right. We're still waiting for something to come out other than let's call it a wallet app that doesn't do a thing. And, shame on 10X on that one. I'm sorry, I'm going to say that, call them out on it. But actually, I'd rather get them on the show to talk to us and tell us what's really going on. But it's frustrating to see no app out there. And what I think makes it a little bit worse is there's a Medium article or two out there from 10X where they're trying to respond to the concerns being raised. And rather than just dealing with them front on the way we do, it's like what we call in Britain wiffle waffle. It's just, they're waffling. We're not getting anything straight out of these guys at all. So
well, it's clear they didn't have a crisis communication plan in place, because this is not how you respond when things like this happen. And the ousting of your CEO is a huge deal, regardless of, why.
Well, whether it's ousting or resignation, the fact is,
either way,
we don't even know that. I mean, this is the thing. We could speculate all we want. The problem is, what I'm thinking now is 10X dead, or are they going to dig themselves out of the dump? Because I don't know which one it is now. Honestly, I just don't know, because we've been waiting for 18 months for a product and we haven't got anything. And listen, I mean, the fact is they were launching a card, and since they went up and did their ICO 18 months ago, we've seen advanced cash come and go. Only went, and I say go as in there was a problem in Europe, and Visa and MasterCard shut down a backbone payment provider, of which a number of cards were using, including Advanced Cash, Zappo, and others. And everyone's cards got stopped until somebody replaces. But in the meantime, we've seen other cards come up even since last summer, like WireX and Revolut. So we're talking 3-month, 6-month windows. Cards go away, and they have to refigure out how to relaunch, and new cards are coming in the market. And in all that time, 10X is like a bookend, from the start to present day. They encompass all of that time and haven't done a thing as far as putting anything in the market, although they claim they have 20 cards that they've issued.
Right. A whole 20 cards.
Oh, come on. I mean, but and they might have 20 cards out. And I know that what they were talking about in their original white paper, and I'm going to go back and kind of comment on a few things. They had talked about being on the Commit network, I believe it was called, which was this really fast kind of part of the whole Lightning network for Bitcoin. Now, if they were waiting for the Lightning network, which is just beginning to come online now, fair enough. They wanted it to be fast. They also had talked about having a variety of currencies that you could use, not just the typical Bitcoin and Ether, but they talked in their white paper, if I recall correctly, they talked about Dash and Litecoin and Bitcoin and Ether and a few others. And there was a lot of ambition in being able to let people spend with a lot of different coins with a card. But like I said, we've got Zippo.
Yeah, we do. And it is kind of scary for the company in general. So just on the basis of the facts that we have, because 10X has done such a poor job of letting us know what's going on, you have an old CEO left for some reason, and supposedly dumped all of his coins. So what does he know that the rest of us don't know? And he dumped it, you're right, at the bottom. It's not like he dumped it at the
so
high.
here's the more important question. Was he
Yeah.
even allowed to? Because we'd have to go back and look at how long were the founders supposed to put their coins. Now, I didn't check the white paper. I should have done before this, and I can come back and, and share it, or I can probably find a link to the white paper and put it up, because I think I've got a copy, so I can put it into a Google Drive and share it out with people. So
Sure.
The thing is, if he sold the coins before the lock-in period completed, that would pose yet another potential problem, not necessarily legal, but certainly an issue for the users when it comes to consensus.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So there's a lot of things going wrong.
Yeah. So interesting stuff. I mean, it does leave us with a lot of questions, maybe more questions than answers right now. So we do really want to get to some form of the bottom of what's going on and what's happening with this, because it'd be really nice to know what's what really.
Yeah, if I would love it to get Julian on, or any other someone from TenX to talk about what's actually happening.
I'd like to. What I'm going to do is I'll reach out to Toby and just attempt to reach him and have a conversation and say, look, we're just as puzzled as all the rest of your user community, and all we want to do is just cut through the noise and misinformation.
Exactly.
Tell our users what really is going on, and that's all I want to know. So there you go. So 10x, all the user community from 10x that are listening in, I would say, if anyone's wondering what should you do, I would say, let's let the dust settle. Let's find out what's going on. Let's try to get some more answers out of Toby, who's now the CEO. And I will certainly make it my best effort, and I know Yuri, you'll support me on this, to find out what's going on there, get some more information out of it. And in the meantime, we just need to let it play out and see what we can find out. And maybe there's more speculation and more, conspiracy theory than necessary. It's entirely possible. There's really nothing wrong at all.
Yeah, it could be. But that's what happens when the lead company has poor communication.
Yeah.
You force the community to speculate.
You're right.
That's why, like top down, right now, 10x needs to come out with what's actually happening and squash some of the. So
they need to go hire a spin doctor. Is that what you're saying?
They do.
So they should hire us, because we're very good at helping with the spin, because we've both worked in big corporate stuff most of our lives in sales and marketing roles. So 10x, if you want to hire us, we'll help you spin it.
Yeah, exactly. We'd be happy to help out with your communication.
Well, no, to be honest, we'll help you with communications and to sort out your communication and marketing story if that's what you want. Or if you just want to be on the show, we're here to help.
Exactly.
All right, cool. Well, I think we've covered 10x. I think we've got a good amount of information to start with, and if we find anything more, we obviously will circle back. So anybody from the 10x community, if you're listening to this, watching this episode, by all means, give us some comments, share your thoughts, and if you've got any questions, obviously throw them our way, and we'll do our best to support you and get whatever we can to evolve this story as it unfolds. Great. Well, thank you, everybody, for watching and listening in. As normal, we are always happy to have you here on the Coin Chat. To the moon. Until next time. Thank you for joining us today on the Coin Chat. Join us on Telegram on t.me/thecoinchat, where we discuss a range of topics on cryptocurrency. And visit us on patreon.com/thecoinchat for show notes, outtakes, and previews of additional content. Or follow us on our website, which is www.thecoinchat.net. And remember to like and subscribe to us on your way out. To the moon. Until next time.